Hey everybody, it's Molly with AllEars and I am here today with a brand new video, and today we're talking about one thing and one thing only. It's a really, really big thing. That's right, we're talking about the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror. This is one of your favorite attractions, and there are so many amazing hidden details, Easter eggs, and fun facts inside Tower of Terror, and we're gonna go find a bunch of them. I hope you're ready, I hope you're excited. I'm a little nervous, but let's go. A lot of people are so jazzed to get to Tower of Terror that they actually walk right past this first clue that it's coming. Tucked away behind the Trolley Car Cafe, which is the Starbucks in the seating area, you can actually see this bulletin board, this poster advertising the Hollywood Tower Hotel. That's back when it was in its heyday, before the nightmare began. First things first, how tall is the Tower of Terror? It's gotta be like 1,000,000 feet tall, right? Well, it's actually just under 200 feet. It's like 199.5-ish feet tall. That's because anything over 200 feet has to have a big red airplane beacon flashing on the top of it, and that would ruin the illusion of the tower and the forced perspective, which is what makes it look so tall. So, because of that, it's just under 200 feet. So is Expedition Everest, making them the tallest attractions on property. Another interesting thing about the Tower of Terror is that when it was first designed, they actually considered making it a hotel you could have stayed in. The CEO at the time, Michael Eisner, thought it'd be really cool to have a haunted hotel that was an attraction and could have rooms in it. Clearly that didn't work out. That sounds like a logistical nightmare, so it's just a much beloved attraction today.
Room service.
One thing I love about Tower of Terror that not enough people take the time to stop and appreciate is the architectural detail. There's over 27,000 tiles on that roof, and then if you look at it, you can see where it was struck by lightning. You can see that scorch marks, you can see the decrepidation, you can see the cracks in it. And a lot of people just look at it and they head to it, but take a minute, stop, and admire the beauty and the detail in this spooky structure. The detail for Tower of Terror starts long before you even get into the queue, or if it's a really long extended queue. But here to the left of the attraction as you're entering in, you can see the garden shed with the garden tools that haven't been used for quite some time. That's because on October 31st, 1939, something a little spooky happened, and no one's been maintaining the grounds since. One of my favorite things they'll do at Tower of Terror is if there's not a wait time, which is not right now, there's a 65-minute wait, but if it's basically a walk-on attraction, they'll change it to 13-minute wait. So that's what you'll usually see, like first thing in the morning, or if you come to an extra magic hours or something like that, and there's no wait, 13 right there. Very cool. Another thing a lot of people scoot right by or don't make the connection is that the stroller parking, or the ECV parking, is called valet parking because we're at a hotel. Before you even enter the attraction, in the queue, there's a few things to look for right here as well in this gate. The first are the signs so that you know when the Hollywood Tower Hotel opened. It was in 1917. And then the second is on this gate right here on the standby queue. It says to keep out as of October 31st, 1939, but ruh-roh, the gate has been opened. A great detail to look at as you're going through the queue is look how unruly the plants have become. Look how there's cracks in the foundation. Look how things aren't as pristine as they are around the rest of a Disney park. That's because this is an abandoned hotel. You've got cracks in the brick. You've got vines growing rogue everywhere. Check out the sign for the attraction as well. It says the Hollywood Tower Hotel, but you can kind of see it in the back. It'll flash the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror. It's much easier to see at night, but it does do that, I promise. As you walk through the queue, you'll notice more things showing you that this used to be a nice hotel. You can find the pool, the tennis courts, the stables. You can also find the bowling green, the grand terrace, and the natatorium. I don't even know what a natatorium is. Someone let me know. Also the arboretum, the band pavilion, and the rose garden. And you're gonna hear a sulky oldies soundtrack accompanied by the screams of those who are already on the attraction. It's just kind of spooky walking through here, looking up, hearing screams. You'll see these vines have taken over, the foundation is cracked. There are a ton of fun details to look for in the lobby, but you need to be a little quick because you're not usually in there for too long. But there are several nods to certain episodes of the Twilight Zone, and there are some clues as to what people were doing when the lightning struck the tower on that night on October 31st, 1939. One of the things to look for is on your left-hand side in the back there is a table, and you can see that a young couple had been celebrating their engagement when the tower was struck by lightning. You'll see a couple champagne glasses, and you can actually see lipstick on one of the glasses, as well as a diamond ring and a white glove. You can also see a game of Mahjong was happening. The tiles are still right where they were. Also in the lobby, you will notice a real set of alligator skin luggage. Now, that was very authentic in the time, and a lot of the pieces that you're going to see throughout the attraction are antiques and things. The Imagineers go all over and they find the best of the best things so that they can find things that were true to the time period. But you're going to see those alligator skin luggage pieces, but that's not the only time you're going to see them. Pay close attention in the video when you're watching the video about what's going to happen, and you'll actually see the bellman carrying those same pieces through the elevator. I guess you could say it's see you later, alligator. Peeking around the lobby, you're also going to be able to see what ranking this hotel is. See, AAA does resorts and hotels, and they base them on a diamond ranking scale. And the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror, the Hollywood Tower Hotel, it got a 13 diamond ranking, which doesn't actually exist. The normal one is 5, but 13, you get it. Want to know what kind of entertainment could be had at the top of the Hollywood Tower Hotel? Take a look at a sign, and it's advertising for the Tip Top Club on the top story of the hotel, and there is a band there being led by Anthony Fremont. Anthony Fremont is the name of a character in a Twilight Zone episode called It's a Good Life, so that's just one of the many, many nods to an actual episode of the show. Peek at the lamp on the desk in the lobby, and you're gonna see a very familiar mouse. That's right, it's a hidden Mickey. To find the hidden Mickey, it's actually like Mickey is looking profile, so the trees make his face, and then that one branch that's going out, that makes his nose. Also in the lobby, you may notice some books, and on top of them are broken glasses. That is a prop from the episode called Time Enough as Last of the Twilight Zone. And the main character of that story is really annoyed because he never has any time to read, and people are always interrupting him, and all he wants to do is read his books. But then a nuclear explosion happens, and he's the only person that survives, and he's like, yes, I can finally read my book! And then he steps on his glasses, leaving him virtually blind. The broken glasses are really hard to see, so you're gonna have to trust me, but they're on the desk. And you can kind of see the I'm going to stick my finger right here, maybe. You can see the frames of them, I guess. That's what would go over your ears. And then the eyes are right here, and they're all covered in these cobwebs, but there's those broken glasses. Let's talk about that iconic pre-show. Now, the intro lines of that were actually spoken by Rod Serling himself. He was the original host of The Twilight Zone, and they took clip from It's a Good Life, that episode again, and that's what starts off the pre-show. The rest of the lines, however, were spoken by an impersonator named Mark Silverman, who the Imagineers and Rod Serling's widow actually handpicked because he did the best impersonation of the original host. But to make sure it looked like the host was actually speaking the lines, the Imagineers spent hours upon hours going through all 156 episodes of The Twilight Zone so that they could line up Mark Silverman's narration to the ride with clips of Rod Serling saying things on the show. That's dedication. Second hidden Mickey alert, pay close attention to that pre-show. When the little girl goes on the elevator with the bellman and her family, she's actually swinging in a plush. And who's that plush of? Mickey Mouse. Third Mickey Mouse, on one of the shelves there's actually some music, and it's the name of the song, that sheet music, is called what? No Mickey Mouse? Near that sheet music, what? No Mickey Mouse? You're also going to see a trumpet. That is a prop from an episode called Passage for Trumpet, which starred Jack Klugman? Klugman. He was an actor back then. You also want to look up at the ceiling, because on top of all the shelves and the bookcases, you're going to find even more little knickknacks that are important, that are props for a show. One of the things you're going to find is this little box, and it's got the devil's head sitting on it, and that is from an episode called In the Nick of Time, which starred a young William Shatner. Last thing in that pre-show library room that you're going to look for, again, looking up, you're going to notice like a little robot alien space invader man. That's from an episode called The Invaders, starring Agnes Moorehead. After you've exited the pre-show and you start winding through, remember you're in the basement, you're going to that maintenance service elevator, and you can see that things really were powered by coal. If you look around, you'll actually see a couple bins that were to have been put into the furnace, but ruh-roh, guess they didn't need those. This is actually my favorite of the Easter eggs hidden in Tower of Terror. When you get on the elevator itself, look on the wall and you can see an inspection certificate. The inspection certificate number is 10259, which is a nod to the date the Twilight Zone originally aired, which was October 2nd, 1959. Keep looking at that, and you're going to see the date that this was signed was October 31st, 1939. If I haven't hammered that date into your brain yet, that's the date that the tower was actually struck by lightning. And making it really spooky, it was signed by an inspector named Cadwallader. Cadwallader is the name of a character in a Twilight Zone episode called the Escape Clause. Turns out he's the devil. Great.
Keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the elevator at all times. And do take special care to supervise your children. Thanks.
Another hidden Mickey alert. This one is kind of hard to see, mostly because you're anticipating the drop, but as your elevator starts to move forward before you actually get into the drop shaft, you're going to see a bunch of twinkling lights, and they are going to slowly fade away in front of you. But before they do, they make a teeny tiny hidden Mickey, so keep your eyes peeled for that one.
About to discover what lies beyond the fifth dimension, beyond the deepest, darkest corner of the imagination, in the Tower of Terror.
Speaking of the drop, it is 13 stories, but you wouldn't actually drop fast enough to make this ride thrilling. So not only are you dropping with the help of gravity, they're actually using big cables to pull you down so that you go faster. Also, the drop sequence is random. It used to be one drop sequence, but that wasn't scary enough. So the Imagineers have the tower decide how you're gonna fall. So you're always gonna get at least one full drop, but you may go up first, you may go down first, you may do a little bit of this, but it's always gonna be random, which keeps the suspense and keeps this ride one of those that you can come back again and again and again. And just when you think the terror is over, you have landed, you are safe, make sure you take a look around before you actually get off the elevator, and you're gonna see the scariest thing yet. It's a ventriloquist dummy. His name is Caesar from an episode called Caesar and Me. And the cast members say he's haunted, and if you don't acknowledge him in the mornings, he'll move, he'll do things, he'll break the ride. So, say hey to Caesar. After you exit the elevator and you've survived seeing Caesar, make sure you look over to the right and you're gonna see a sign for the Sunset Club. That appears to be the hotel's restaurant, and you can actually take a look at the menu and what they were serving on October 31st, 1939. Looks like for dinner they were gonna have grapefruit, some gherkins, herring, turtle soup, some fish, beef, lamb, some mutton chops, chicken. Man, there was quite the spread here. Tea, coffee, liquor, cigar, and cigarettes to end the night. One thing I should point out about a couple of those Easter eggs, the ones in the pre-show room, you may not see all of them because they vary based on which one you go into. There's a left and a right one, so if you don't see it, I'm really sorry, you're in the wrong gallery. But just ask the cast member. They look spooky, but I promise they'll help you find things. Or if you really want to see one, ask for the left gallery. That one seems to have more. Well, that is a wrap on my Easter eggs, details, fun facts about the Tower of Terror. Hopefully you had fun. Definitely let me know in the comments. Is this your favorite attraction in Disney? Let me know that as well. In the meantime, friends, make sure to rate, review, subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Instagram at AllEars.net. Until next time, y'all, I'm Molly, and it's been magical. And a little spooky. Want to see more of my videos? Click over here. Want to subscribe? You can do that right here. And also, ring that notification bell to make sure you get instantly notified anytime we post a new video. Thanks for following. See you real soon.